You know, I actually feel very shy about these big musical entrances, and so maybe I feel better to walk after. I think some of you know that I've been a little bit sick these past couple of days, and so I'm sorry that I didn't get to spend more time with you. But it's been lovely to be here, and it's always great to see you all. And I'm very happy that this event has been such a success. I had a hard time putting this presentation together. I actually didn't realize until I think Monday this morning that I have two talks at this event. And so I thought, oh my goodness, what am I going to say? And I just thought about it, and I thought about it. Most of you have probably been to Italy Symposium before, yes? Okay, so you've heard us talk about our vision. You've seen some of the things that Liferay does as a company, and you've probably seen this diagram, which talks about how we want to use our business and nonprofit stuff to support the communities where we live and work. And you know, I thought, okay, I could present this again, but to be honest, there's a part of me that always felt a little bit weird about it because it's such a balance, it's such a fine line between basically saying, well, we want to do this and we hope that you'll do it with us, but also maybe it feels like, oh, Liferay, we're so great, and that we're talking about ourselves. And it's something that's always made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. And so even yesterday I was thinking, well, what should I share that would be maybe something new, maybe a new perspective. And there was a moment, actually yesterday, I think. So Chema was up here, and he was giving a talk about some of the new stuff that he's been doing in front of technology. And I was sitting right there, and I think Pier Paolo Ramon was sitting on this row as well. And he was just on the edge of his seat, and he was so excited. And what I realized hearing from Chema was the reason why he was so excited is because this was something that Pier Paolo Ramon had maybe thought about doing since 2015. And he was finally seeing the fruit of that innovation that he put together coming into the Liferay platform. And this was an aha moment for me as well because I've been in LA. I used to live in Europe, but I've been in LA. One of the things we're always trying to figure out is how can we make Liferay more relevant to modern developers? We've been saying things like, you know, we got to make Liferay work with NPM and with Angular and React. And then I was sitting there, and it was happening right before my eyes. And in that moment, I realized that, in a way, this is the vision of Liferay. Now, the 3 circles, the nonprofit stuff, that's important too. And we're continuing to do that. But this moment was, for me, the vision of Liferay. And so, you know, when Doriana and Gwenda told me that over 250 people, I think at the last count, 280 people registered for this event, I thought, oh my goodness, why are there so many people coming to the Liferay Symposium? And I started doing some research last night just to see what's going on in the Liferay world here in Italy. And I just saw so many amazing things. So there's this story about a new website for the region of Lazio that is being built on Liferay. Here's another one where I think Sisal is a major company here in Italy that's got a new website. And you know, of course, these are a couple of our partners. I'm not here to promote our partners or anything like that. And other proprietary software vendors also have partnerships, and they do this kind of thing. But you know, there's so much beyond just in the 4 walls of this event going on here in Italy that I didn't realize. So Jader Francia, he's part of our community. I'm really sorry, Jader. You know, I know your face. I see you so many times, but I don't always remember everyone's names. But most of his Twitter stream is about Liferay, and you know, they've been doing Liferay user group meetups throughout the country, in Bari, in Milano, and everywhere else. And I have no idea why like Stan Sondridge is there, but he was there. And the community here is so alive, right? There's like this boot camp thing that SMC is doing, and where technical people of Liferay are just coming together and talking about some of the new and innovative things. Just to prove, I'm not here to promote our partners, our platinum sponsors. Intensis, who's our virtual sponsor, they've been very active for a long time. Dennis Signoretto and many others. And I saw some of these blogs and things that they've been using to talk about, hey, here's what's in Liferay 7, here's what's new, here's what you can expect. They've even contributed some things, which again, as someone with a marketing background, the fact that they have this SEO solution for Liferay web pages, I was like, wow, that's really great. And then there's one thing about the Italian market I don't quite understand is, I think this is SMC presenting about their IoT experience. And in the Twitter feed, Daniela Baggio, who works at another company, said something like, oh, I built that. And I think Daniela used to work at SMC, but it seems like you guys are all connected somehow, right? And I think that's really great. But again, even with the IoT thing, the community here is pushing the boundaries in ways that we're not even thinking about yet, right? So I took these 3 circles and I thought maybe there's a different way to think about this, because instead of just what Liferay does and what we are volunteering and are supporting nonprofits through donations, there's something else going on here that's even more powerful, at least on the for-profit side. And I think what I saw here in Italy is that there's a great deal of success that we experience as a technology vendor, as an open source ecosystem, that doesn't translate necessarily into revenue. And I'm calling this non-monetized success. It's the fact that we are in big companies like Banca d'Italia and Sogei and Co-op and Autostrada and many of the other companies that have been here. And a lot of those are paying customers, but I believe part of the reason they decided to become customers was because of the strength of the ecosystem. And that non-monetized success has led to Liferay's financial success as well as the financial success of many of you. And because of that, because we are a strong company that grows more from this non-monetized success, we're able to have indirect impacts. The fact that we're able to travel to Italy every year to get together to provide local tourism, hotels, restaurants, all that stuff. Of course, those are the obvious indirect impacts, but I think also the way that we do business, the way that we build relationships, I think it's over time a way of changing and influencing the culture in the business world. If we weren't open source, if we did not allow this sort of non-monetized success to flourish, then I believe the indirect impact that we would have would be, first of all, much smaller. But even more than this, I believe that our actual success would even be smaller. I don't believe for a moment that I personally, or our team, or even the team we have in Europe, could have figured out how to grow the Italian market into the size it is today for Liferay, where I believe it's something like 10% of the revenue in Europe, which we're really happy about, if it were not for the open source ecosystem. And so I love this model, and I believe I saw this with my own eyes. And so when people ask me what the Liferay vision is, I think one of my answers now will be this. You guys, the fact that you have decided to come together and check in with us as one step in a journey that goes on throughout the whole year, where you've invested so much in Liferay, and you've shown us so much, and you've taught us so much. This is a manifestation, right here in this room, of the vision that we have as a company and how we're going to operate. And so it's obvious that one of the things I'm saying is that we can achieve more together. But the other thing I want to say is that, I turned 41 this year, and I think as we all get older, we really think about our lives, we think about what we've achieved, we think about what we have left to achieve, right? And at this moment, I think I could stand before you proudly and say, that I am satisfied, I am happy with what we achieved as a Liferay Italian ecosystem. I mentioned in my opening keynote that this is the 9th Italian Symposium, that our first one back in 2010 happened in Treviso. Marco and the SMC guys really encouraged us to do it. And I found some old photos, and I was really struck by how simple the old Italian Symposium was. Basically, we got an old building that was already beautiful, we put a couple flags on it, and a projector. And then we told everyone, on this day, Liferay is going to be here. We hope you can make it. And we thought maybe 50 people, maybe 80 people would show up. We even charged money. And SMC was like, no, don't charge money. Nobody's going to come. Over 100 people came. And, the internet's gotten a lot better. The catering might be more efficient. We have more branding. But essentially, what's still most important is that we say, okay, Liferay, we're going to get together. Here's the place and time. Let's talk. Let's learn, and let's relate. And so when I come to these events every year, what I care about is not, and part of it is I have such a fantastic team that I don't have to worry about this anymore. I don't care about the internet. I don't care about the branding. I don't even care about the name tags. They give me one every year, and I never wear it. I care about, I ask, hey, is Pier Paolo going to be there? What about Mr. Lombardi from Bucket Italia? I remember I talked to him last year, and I hope that he'll be there again. What about the guys from Ariadne and Nuvo? Am I going to be able to see them again? This is what I look forward to. The relationships that we've built over the years and being able to extend that. And I just put this photo in here because I've never seen Luca Borghese with hair before. And he was a handsome guy, still is. Okay, so I just want to close with something that's not new, actually. And this is simply to say that Liferay is who we are. And I think after 9 years, after 14 years of doing business, after 19 years of being a community, I think you know who we are. A lot hasn't changed from that first symposium. We still have a Spanish guy giving the roadmap. We still have Jorge talking about the flexibility of Liferay, and me being a little bit confused, not being quite sure what he's saying. I'm still talking about the same stuff, right? And I guess the only thing I would say is that the last 2 to 3 years, I think, as leadership, we made some decisions, we made some mistakes, and I think it impacted a lot of you in the community. I know I talked about this last year as well, but I'm so happy and grateful that you continue to believe in us. I think you guys all know Antonio Musara. He's done a lot of work fixing the things that Liferay broke when we took away things like clustering and commercial support. And as I was doing research, I didn't realize he has this amazing blog. He even has a Kindle ebook about how to do a security audit. And again, the fact that he's still doing these things and still believing in Liferay, I'm very grateful for that. And it's just an amazing thing for me. And I hope we can keep doing that together. In Gemma's talk, he talks a lot about his grandma. I don't know if you realize, but that was kind of a joke, and his grandmother actually passed away. But my grandmother's still alive, and she's actually from the area of Korea that is now North Korea. And when the war broke out, she actually fled to the south. But her father was a principal of a school, and they lived in a really big house. And back in the 1930s, they actually had a telephone in their home. The point of the story is that I think she was really affluent. And when she left her home, she actually lost all of that, right? But because she was wealthy, she always tells me that she was never a very good businessman because she always wanted to give things away rather than taking things, right? And even to this day, she has a lot of family. She has all of her children and us, but she's not materially very wealthy. And I thought, well, maybe some of that some of that genetic material made it to me as well, because I think when we tried to go down that route of, okay, let's monetize Liferay more and, sort of take things from the community and do all that, it didn't feel right and it didn't really work. And I think the wonderful thing about open source is that even for people like me and my grandma who don't really know how to do business, who don't know how to make money, who like to give things away, there's a way for us to be successful. But more importantly, there's a way to include so many more people in that success. And so I just want to say thank you again. It really is a dream come true to be able to come here every year and to celebrate with all of you what we've achieved together. Thank you for making Liferay Italy such an amazing ecosystem. And I look forward to many more years of doing this together. Thank you.